How's it going, guys and gals? This is Anthony. Today we're back at it with a new video where today we'll be reviewing both Worlds Collide and Money in the Bank Los Angeles. I mean, I'll just leave it here. I love Worlds Collide. Money in the Bank was a little bit but I kind of understand because Worlds Collide had to be good or good. Like, they had no choice of it being bad, and I think they delivered. Where Money in the Bank kind of felt tame in comparison. But if you like this type of content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Wars Collide kicked off with the LWO, represented by Cruz del Toro and Dragon Lee, alongside Lince Dorado, who replaced Joaquin Wilde, who got injured on WWE Speed when it was taped last Monday night on Raw. Because before Raw, WWE Speed is taped so it could air on Wednesdays on X. So that match was the place where he got injured and he got replaced by Lince Dorado, who's been signed with the company for a couple of months now, but he's only been a trainer in the performance center. So this was his return match against AAA's Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. I watch a little bit of Mr. Iguana because I watch a little bit of AAA every now and then because Mecha Wolf, who in Puerto Rico is known as Mr. 450, he works not only in AAA, but he also works in the NWA, and obviously Ricky Banderas, the Messiah, or people that watch TNA back in the 2000s know him as Judas Messias. So I always try to watch why my Puerto Rican fellows do in AAA. So I will watch a little bit of Mr. Iguana in here, snippets here and there. He was the star of this match. He was the star of this match. I mean, the Iguanas are such an like, I know this has to be Moody Jack Melendez, who in Wars Collide return as part of the creative team. This spot definitely had to be done by Hector Moody Jack Melendez. The spot where Lince Dorado attacked Jessica, the iguana puppet that Mr. Iguana uses, that spot definitely was thought of by a Moody Jack. Definitely. Definitely, because iguanas are such an important part of Puerto Rican pop culture, and having a Puerto Rican attack an iguana was so funny to me for some reason. Because for people that don't know, Lince Dorado is Puerto Rican, and the face of Mr. Iguana put and start attacking everybody. I mean, this match was under AAA rules, which they kept saying, AAA rules bad, right? From WWE rules. So in a way, they didn't insult our intelligence. This match was way too much fun. Go watch it back. WWE on their WWE Espanol YouTube channel uploaded the match in its entirety. Uh, but you can go back on YouTube and watch Words Collide, and you can see it on English. It was 21 minutes of action. But what was important here is what happened after the match. So Octagon Jr. gave Lince Dorado a super fall away slam for the 1, 2, 3. The babyfaces win, and obviously Dominic was in the crowd, and he said, Octagon Jr., you're a big Rey Mysterio fan. You're just a deadbeat. I'm being like, okay, they're going to give heel hit to Dominic, even though they're gonna turn him babyface in the next 2 months. But okay, sure, I guess. Yeah, because this has been the plan for the last 10 months. I've been saying it that Dominic is gonna go babyface. And when the judgment and the thing that's delaying that babyface turn is Ray's injury because that was supposed to happen on the Raw after WrestleMania. Obviously, you don't see Dave Meltzer, you don't see Sean Rossap, you don't see Mike Johnson saying this shit. It's me. It's me because I've got contacts, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously, the Dominic Babyface turn has been delayed for the time being because of Ray's groin injury leading to a surgery. Because he called him a deadbeat because the show kicked off with Ray doing a promo about how 31 years later, Worlds Collide returns to Los Angeles, blah 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 blah. Like a big rah speech, and how Lucha Libre has been put on the big stage during the past 31 years. So that tied into into the aftermath of this match, which Octagon Jr. and Dominic went into a brawl, and Dominic said, "Okay, you and me at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship." So that's how we got our fifth match announced for Money in the Bank. Next up, we had Lola Bice and Stephanie Baker, one of two people doing double duty last Saturday against Dallas and Chica Tormenta. And I love how they showed Blue Demon Jr. on the crowd. They showed Savio Vega in the crowd. They showed Negro Casas, which is Dallas' husband. But and obviously I am jumping over here, but I didn't like that they didn't mention that Negro Casas is Psycho Clown's father-in-law. But that's me being a little bit nitpicky. So yeah, I mean this match was mostly built up on NXT. Conan said it on commentary alongside Cody Graves. Dallas was Stephanie Baker's first match once she went pro. So there's history here. And obviously the build-up started on Battleground when Dallas and Chica Tormenta confronted Baker backstage before her match with Jordan Grace. And when they tried to attack her a couple of weeks ago on NXT, Lola Vice came to her aid. And obviously the match was Dallas and Chica Tormenta getting the heat on Lola Vice because she's the least experienced one in this match. So that's the story they were telling. They were taking advantage of the quote unquote rookie in comparison. But once Stephanie did the save, the match shifted, and I really like that the double devil's kiss by both Lola and Stephanie on Dallas and Chica Tormenta, which which led up to the Stephanie Baker backbreaker on Dallas from the 1 2 3, and obviously Vero Rodriguez, who works with Telemundo, was the interviewer for Worlds Collide. For people who do not know, Vero Rodriguez works in Telemundo. She's part of the NBC Universal family and is Finn Balor's wife. For people that do not know, and since she's Mexican, I think hey, she's Mexican. Come to LA, come work for Worlds Collide one night only. Come on, let's go. So that's what happened here. Excuse me. I really like the Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. promos alongside Legado del Fantasmas. That this match was who really represents Mexico on the world stage. I'm just gonna say this before I start talking about the match here. Um, I felt that Pagano, the nerves betrayed him because I've seen Pagano work not only in AAA, but I've also seen him work here in Puerto Rico. Like the nerves really betrayed him. Like this was a bad showing by Pagano. Psycho Clown looked good. Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. looked great. He was showing a little bit of that strong style because his work with Pro Wrestling Noah, which got a shout out by Cody Graves on commentary, so that's awesome. And how this match was important to him because the mask, he is the third generation of Dr. Wagner. You know, his grandfather was Dr. Wagner, his dad Dr. Wagner Jr., and he is the third generation, right? So I really like how he sold it. Like, this match means legacy. This is heritage. And obviously, they talk about, I really like how they show the footage of how Hijo del Fantasma, who is Santos Escobar, lost his mask, which which is a pretty weird thing to do because on NXT, because when Escobar debuted on NXT, you brought him in with the mask. So you are retconning him taking off the mask on NXT, which felt kind of weird to me. But hey, whatever fits the narrative they're trying to tell, right? So, and obviously they plugged in on this show. They plugged in Triple Mania. They plugged in, like the Triple Mania Regia show, which is gonna be on the 14th, which is this Saturday, where Los Garza, Psycho Clown, and Pagano will be challenging la nueva generación Dinamita for the AAA tag team title. So they're kind of, and gonna went into it, like what if Berto and Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza win the AAA tag team titles? What would be the ramifications for AAA? Like, kind of teasing that we could see the AAA tag team titles on SmackDown, which I think sounds sounds enticing. Imagine AAA tag teams invading both Raw and SmackDown, trying to get the titles back, which could create a little bit of a company war. Hey, that could be compelling episodic television. But yeah, I mean, the match here ended with Santos giving the Phantom Driver to Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. for the 1, 2, 3, giving um, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo some momentum for the AAA Tag Team title match this upcoming Saturday. But in a way, it's kind of, so they're not winning the match. Because if you gave them the win here, that means that Humberto and Angel are not winning the match. So this match definitely has to be Nueva Generación Dinamita retaining or Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. pinning either Humberto or Angel. I mean, not Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., I'm sorry, like Psycho Clown and Pagano. Either Psycho Clown or Pagano pinning Angel or Berto. Like, I was thinking about the finish of that match that Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. just came out, but he's not on the title match. It's Psycho Clown and Pagano. So for the semi main event, we had the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT North American title. Obviously, where Ethan Page defended the title against Ray Phoenix, Laredo Kid, who is the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, and Javon Evans. This match was just bodies flying everywhere, and I thought it was good. I think the wrong guy got pinned here, which was Laredo Kid. I think Javon Evans should have eaten the pin here because you want to tell the story of the babyface suffering until he wins the big one. I think he should have been the one to eat the pin here because he's actually the one on weekly television, not Laredo Kid. Ray Phoenix is on SmackDown, so I don't know why Laredo Kid was the one pin here, but that's my take on it. Which now we go to the main event. Another person pulling double duty, Chad Gable, here wrestling as Chad Gable, and then on Money in the Bank wrestling as his alter ego, El Grande Americano. I get challenging for the AAA Mega Championship against El Hijo del Vikingo. This match was amazing. Like, I really like how the match started in a very slow pace. Like a lot of submission holds to begin the match, and then they were, and then the match started picking up, which is how I really like my matches. I don't like a 25-minute slow fest or a 25-minute spot fest. I want gradually working for the big spots. And there's a spot that it was so scary here because Chad Gable tried to do an avalanche power bomb, and I don't know, like I don't know if Gable slipped, but the move looked like a top rope pile driver, and then Viking got kicked out. Which, why do, like, at least have Gable, like, get out of the pen, say no, 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 this is over when I say it's over, like some stuff like that, and you'll be like, okay, I can understand now how he recovered. There was a there was a Canadian destroyer on the apron. There, and I also liked how, through the entire match, Shad was working Vikingo's ankle and left ankle and knee. That was the story of the match, and then Chad took out a table where Vikingo put Chad through that table. I thought that was a great spot, but unnecessary. You could have used the announce table, but with the announce tables of today, which we saw on Money in the Bank, a spear is not gonna be enough. Like, you need to do like 2, 3 moves on a guy before it finally breaks. Just ask JD McDonough's long, right? So yeah. So, but that does not take away from this match being the best match on the show for me. This was the best match on the show, and since this match is connected to what happened with Worlds Collide, let's finish the Worlds Collide review with the Intercontinental Championship match between Dominic defending against Octagon Jr. This match was like, they talk about how he signed to TNA and he's part of the Aztec Warriors, which are whose leader is Chavo Guerrero. And they show Chavo Guerrero on Worlds Collide, but they didn't mention him here. Like, you are presenting Octagon Jr. not as a AAA guy, you are presenting him as a TNA guy. So mention at least Chavo, man. But yeah, I mean, this match was short. He was going for a moonsault, Liv Morgan climbed the apron, distracted Octagon. Dominic took advantage, frog splash, 1, 2, 3. This was just a match, like, hey, Octagon Jr. has potential, but I would have liked for the match to be a little bit longer and have Liv, at least have Octagon have a visual pin on Dominic, and so that way Liv climbing up to the apron makes sense. And then when the referee checks in on Dominic, Liv hits Octagon with the title. Frog splash, 1, 2, 3. I think that would have been a better finish. But that's just me. So here we end the Worlds Collide review, and we begin with the Money in the Bank Los Angeles review in 3, 2, 1. So, Money in the Bank Los Angeles kicked off with the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I need to say something here. This match, I ended up expecting more, but I understand why this match felt so tame. Because if you only see the only spots they had with ladders was Stephanie giving Rhea the devil's kiss, and then Alexa and alongside Roxanne doing the pop rocks on stereo. But those were the only spots done with ladders. Those were the only spots done with ladders, and it was just the match was just there. So the finish came in. So Naomi is your Miss Money in the Bank. Like, I don't have much to talk here. Like, Naomi was not one of the favorites. I wouldn't have given her to Naomi because she's in the middle of a feud. Because if you're gonna give the briefcase to someone in the middle of a feud, why not give it to Julia and do a tease of her being double champion? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Because my logic on the predictions was you need to give the briefcase to somebody that's gonna fail but not affect her status. And the thing about it is, the thing about it is, um, Naomi is still fresh off her heel turn. Her cash in must be successful now. But the thing is, she's in a feud with Jay Cargill, so her cash in is gonna be unsuccessful. Hence, why so much emphasis last Monday night on Raw with the nobody has ever failed a cash in on the woman's side. Then give it to Rhea. Like, the first guy to fail a cash in was John freaking Cena because he could take a failed cash in and not affect his freaking status. If you are gonna have someone fail, like if you want Naomi to fail the cash in, why not give it to Rhea? Rhea failing the cash in makes 10 times more sense, makes 10 times more sense than Naomi, because the story with Rhea is already there. She's getting obsessed with being champion again. I mean, it could even lead to a heel turn. Like, I don't know, man. There was more compelling episodic television with Rhea failing the cash in. That's just me. Next up, we had the Octagon and Dominic IC title match, which we already talked about on the first half of this review with Worlds Collide. So next up, we had Lyra Valkyrie and Becky Lynch for the Women's IC Championship. These two ladies cannot have a bad match. Lyra versus Becky 3 was 10 times better than Lyra versus Becky 2. And that match was pretty good, let me tell you. So they upped themselves. Obviously, the stipulations here were if Lyra wins, Becky cannot challenge while Lyra is champion. If Becky wins, Lyra must raise Becky's hand. I mean, this match was very well back and forth, and I have a little complaint here. Why is Becky Lynch dressed? Why was Becky dressed as if she was going into a street fight? This was a singles match. Why is she dressed as if she's going to a freaking bar at 11 p.m.? You're a professional wrestler, not a drunk moron. Like, what the fuck? Maybe my standards are way too high for how a professional should look, especially in professional wrestling. But goddamn, Becky, this is not a hardcore match. What the fuck? What the fuck? And I'm sorry for cursing, but when I see stupid shit like this, I get freaking mad. You know what I mean? I got freaking mad. So um, the match ended with Lyra doing a roll up. Becky reversed it, held the tights for the 1, 2, 3. Becky is the new women's IC champion. She asks Lyra to raise her hand. She does it, but then wants to humiliate her. And Lyra gives her a German suplex. So obviously, the blow off of this feud is SummerSlam. I think it's pretty obvious. They're not gonna have the rematch on Evolution. And by the way, I thought Bailey was gonna be here. Where the hell is Bailey? Like, it would have made sense for Bailey to try to interfere in here to try to give Becky her comeuppance, unless they're waiting for Bailey to do Bailey versus Becky on Evolution, which is on paper the one of the biggest matches you can do for that show on July 13th. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. On your semi main event, we had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I had El Grande Americano winning, while we had a pretty good fake out where he did like the he tried to mimic the Shelton Benjamin spot, climbing the ladder from the corner to try to steal the win, which I thought was awesome. And not only that, but excuse me, not only that, but um, how he tried to steal a win with the fireball, and Shaq Gable telling the Creed brothers hide this ladder, so I could tell Grande Americano where it is, but you also have to tell me, like saying in like I like this story on how the Creed brothers are such morons for not noticing that El Grande Americano is just Shaq Gable's alter ego, but we as the fans know it and we just run with the joke. Perfect television, you know what I mean? That is perfect television. So I had a Grande Americano winning for trying to cash in against Vikingo, but but I still think that the main event for Triple Mania on August 16th, which is gonna be Triple Mania 33, Triple Mania 33, is gonna be Vikingo versus El Grande Americano title versus mask. I still believe that's the main event for Triple Mania. So let's wait and see. And LA and I had a spot here where he gave like a back suplex into El Grande Americano, and he started climbing the ladder. Seth is outside the ring. He goes for backup. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed come in, but then Jacob Fatu and JC Mattel come to do the save. They take Reed and Breaker out. Jacob Fatu tries to help Solo, but holds his foot, and as Solo is about to grab the briefcase, he grabs Solo by the foot and tells him, "I hate you, Solo." Super kick, and then he gives him a Uranage on a ladder that was set up on the ringside area. Uh, a, a couple of minutes before that spot. So only one broken ladder in this ladder match. So that's where Seth Rollins takes advantage. He climbs the ladder, and Seth Rollins becomes the second man in WWE history to be a two-time Mr. Money in the Bank. The first one, see and Punk, which I thought that CM Punk was going to interfere here in some way, which is why I gave Grande Americano the win. But hey, Seth works too because he's going to win. But my only complaint here is that with Seth Rollins winning Money in the Bank, which is something that I said on my predictions video, I had Seth Rollins winning King of the Ring. The problem with that now is that you're making it pretty obvious that Cody Rhodes is gonna win King of the Ring. Uh, at least having Seth and Cody both in the tournament, you could have like two heavy favorites. Like right now, if it's not Cody winning King of the Ring, then who? Who? Because Raw has no credible heels as of this moment. I mean, you can put Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed on the tournament as a way to protect Seth's interest in the World Heavyweight Championship because we know he's gonna cash in successfully on Jey Uso, especially with the rumors that Roman Reigns is gonna be chasing the World Heavyweight Championship from SummerSlam onward. And next up, we've got the main event: John Cena and Logan Paul versus a returning Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. If it wasn't for Cody Rhodes and what happened at the end, this match would have been shit. Like I thought Logan Paul was a pretty good worker. This match was as if he forgot how to work. John Cena doesn't have anything left in the tank. And I like Jey Uso, but Jey Uso is not a ring general like Cody Rhodes is. Cody Rhodes saved this entire match. Once he came in, the match picked up. The fans were happy. I I really liked how Logan and Cena started having dissension, and Cena told him, "I'm trying to teach you," and they started shoving each other, which confirms the first match for Clash in Paris. John Cena versus Logan Paul will be the first announced match for Clash in Paris. There you have it. There you have it. That I'm saying it here first. That is a match that is planned to happen on Clash in Paris because Cena's gonna lose at SummerSlam. Yeah, I know. I mean, it doesn't take too much to like it's easy to understand Triple H's booking. It's pretty easy. People call it predictable. I don't think predictable is bad if the journey is fun. You know what I mean? But nearing the end of the match, Cena hit Cody with the title, just like he did WrestleMania 41. But then a guy in a hoodie attacked him, hit him with the title, and that guy turned out to be our truth. Wait, not our truth. Ron Killings making his return to WWE, beating the hell out of John Cena. Cody takes advantage with the crossroads. One, two, three. Cody and Jay win. So now Jay has some momentum going to tonight's Monday Night Raw against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which I think Logan Paul may interfere. I think the Gunther and Jay match is going to have overbooking galore. I think Seth Rollins may try to cash in. I think Logan Paul may interfere because he's had his sights on the World Heavyweight Championship, which I think the match for SummerSlam, I've been saying it for a while now, it's going to be Gunther and Logan Paul. I think that's going to be the SummerSlam match. I think that's going to be the SummerSlam match. I don't know. I smell it for some reason. But yeah, that's all. That's my review for the events this weekend. Remember, if you like this type of content, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And as I always say, cherish beautiful moments with your families, create beautiful memories because life's too short, but memories last a lifetime. But before I go, a couple of hours ago, episode 2 of Lost Records Bloom and Rage, the part 2 of Tape 1 Bloom, has been uploaded to the Patreon. As always, this is Anthony signing off. Bye bye.